What would you do in this situation? Your child has been practicing the piano for a few months and has a recital coming up. Everyone will be there: grandparents, friends, peers. Your child's excited to perform and show off what they've learned, but they practice infrequently. And when they do, you notice they make quite a few mistakes. How can you best support them? Okay, hold that thought while we pivot. You have needs, I have needs, kids have needs, and guess what? They're actually the same needs. Enter self-determination theory. Self-determination theory, which I talk about a lot in other videos, is the study of the core needs essential to our psychological well-being, which affect things like motivation, confidence, and success. And over the past 50, 60 years, hundreds of researchers around the world have been studying these needs at all angles. And what they've found transcends culture, religion, age, and it applies to every life context, including school, work, sports, and relationships. Ultimately, self-determination comes down to the ability to make your own choices and control your life. It boils down to three fundamental things: mastery, which is also called competence; connection, which is also called relatedness; and autonomy, which is also called autonomy. So what's important to understand here is that all three of these needs are essential. When they're met, we and our children are automatically motivated to explore, learn, and create. On the other hand, if any of these needs goes unmet, our energies automatically shift to doing whatever we can to meet that need, whether or not it seems rational or healthy. And when a child can't get any one of these needs met, or worse, has to sacrifice one to get the other, it can damage their self-confidence, and it can directly affect their behavior and their relationships. Unfortunately, many parenting and social norms actively undermine these needs, and having to trade one for another is super common. In this 3-part series, I'm going to share common ways we adults hurt our kids without even being aware of it. But first, I want you to know that I have personally done just about every single one of the things on this list. And even after I knew not to do it, I still did it because sometimes it felt impossible to stop. So I want you to know, wherever you are on this journey, you are in a hardcore, judgment-free zone, my friend. The fact that you're here watching this video already says a lot about you. So take a moment to acknowledge yourself and give yourself grace. And remember, whatever mistakes you've made along the way or will make, there's always time to course correct, even when your kids are grown. On the other hand, if you haven't made any of these mistakes, please let me know in the comments so I can finally see what a perfect parent looks like. Today, we're going to talk about the first need: mastery. Mastery is the experience of getting better and better at something and being good at something you worked really hard at. Sometimes the process of building mastery is uncomfortable. It means trying something, messing up, and trying again. Your child figuring out how to walk is a great example of mastery. Remember the smile they got on their face the first time they finally took their first steps? When we get that experience of hard-earned mastery, it gives us confidence and the willingness to take on more. On the other hand, if we do not have it, it can lead to experiences of self-doubt, apathy, or fear of even trying. All of these have negative effects on our motivation. Here are 2 common ways well-meaning parents get in the way of mastery. Mastery killer number 1, rescuing. Well-intentioned as you surely are, unless there's a risk of serious injury, resist the impulse to stop your kid from falling off the merry-go-round or going to school without lunch because they've forgotten it for the millionth time. It may sound harsh because your kid could get hurt or go hungry, but this direct experience of cause and effect not only helps them learn the lessons for themselves, but it also teaches them not to be afraid of making mistakes and how to navigate those mistakes when they happen. It's better to learn from little mistakes now than big ones later. Mastery killer number 2, correcting. Every time we correct our kids without being asked, we send them a message that they're incapable, and we rob them of the opportunity to build mastery in themselves. This ranges from well-intentioned teaching, "Those two colors don't go well together, honey," to our fear-based reactions about how they'll turn out or other people's judgments. Unless your input is actively solicited, and I can count the times that's happened on one hand, or it has a direct and important impact on you directly, just let your kids do it their way. How they dress, how they speak, all of that is really up to them. Note, this is also a connection killer. So let's go back to that first example with your child who's been practicing the piano for months and is excited about the upcoming recital. You know they're probably going to make mistakes. Based on what you now know about mastery, how would you handle that situation? Let me know in the comments. Chances are you may find some items on this list anywhere from surprising to downright challenging. If so, you are in good company. Which ones impacted you the most or surprised you? Put in the comments anything you'd like to understand better, challenge, support, or are unsure how to apply to your current situation. And while you're here, I'd appreciate it if you'd like this video. It really helps the algorithm. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe to our newsletter and subscribe to our channel. Thanks. Bye-bye.